I'd like to call to order the Public Improvement Commission hearing of July 13th, 2017. First item for our poll hearing is on a petition by Eversource Energy to install 2 anchor guys on Safford Street, Hyde Park, west of Melba Way / Isles Road.
Good morning, Rick Schiavone from Eversource Electric.
Good morning.
Our first petition is to install 2 anchor guys on Safford Street. The reason for this is to eliminate a private property guy at 94 Safford Street. We're having some issues with some poles out there. My understanding is we're going to work with the residents in the area before we do any of the work on this to let them know that this is to eliminate that private property guy.
As you know, we have been contacted by an abutter with some concerns about the specific guy that is currently there. If we can just make sure that we have confirmation that this solution actually works for the abutters, and we can move forward contingent upon receiving that from Eversource.
Understood.
Okay. Great. Questions or comments?
Just get us something in writing after you, Mr. Schiavone, after you met with the abutter, and we can give you a copy of their letter to us. So just close the loop, it's something writing saying that you have met with the abutter, carbon copying the abutter.
Will do.
Thank
Absolutely.
Make a motion to approve the petition by Eversource Energy to install 2 anchor guys on Safford Street, Hyde Park, west of Melba Way, Ailes Road, contingent upon the abutter issue resolution. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Our next item is on a petition by Eversource Energy to relocate 1 utility pole on Grantley Street, Hyde Park, located southeast of Hyde Park Ave.
Yes, this is a pole relocation to accommodate, I think it's a sidewalk widening on this one. Actually, my agent is on the way now when I can see if you give me 1 minute.
You guys have pictures?
Yes. And I think this is one of Zach's streets.
Yep.
Yes,
So-
this was an ADA requirement to give us more space on the sidewalk, so we're relocating the pole to allow additional space.
And appreciate your timely action, so thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Chanel Plan. I'm with Eversource.
I'll make a motion to approve the petition by Eversource Energy to relocate 1 utility pole on Grantley Street, Hyde Park, located southeast of Hyde Park Avenue. Second.
Aye. So moved. The third item is on a petition by Eversource Energy to install 1 guy stub pole on Westminster Street, Hyde Park, located east of Hyde Park Ave.
Yeah, this guy stub pole is to add additional strength to a composite pole that we have in the area. We've had some issues with composite poles as far as their strength with the loading on it once the poles get fully loaded, and this is to beef that up so we'll not have an issue with this composite.
So Rick, this is a tiny bit of concern, and I'll try and keep it as precise as possible. When you all came with these composite poles, you all gave us assurances that it is going to reduce the pole clutter. So I and the Commission may have concerns about the structural integrity of these poles and the need for subsequent additional poles to keep it up. So you need, this wasn't, the whole idea was to reduce the pole clutter. Okay, so you need to let us know, because you did flood all of Hyde Park with a series of these poles, and if we continue to have these issues, then it's going to be a bigger concern to the city.
Yeah, exactly. Our engineering group is reevaluating the use of composite poles in their entirety because of the strength issues aren't what they expected them to be.
So your solution cannot be where you keep those old poles in its awkward situation by adding new guide wire poles to keep it functional.
Understood.
Okay?
When do you expect that evaluation to be done?
It's ongoing now. They're looking at alternatives to the composite poles. It's just some of the alternatives are very large and even more ugly. Just keep it short.
I just want to step back a bit. You're the owner of the pole, but it's a JO pole, so other people can petition you basically wire up onto that pole. What do you require them? Do they do structural analysis?
Yes, there is a structural analysis done anytime a third party attaches to our pole. First, the third party comes to the city, gets a grant to be able to be in the streets. And then they go to us and Verizon as the joint owners of the pole and ask to attach to the pole. There's a separate process outside the city for that. That's where in the analysis, they have to give us the weight and strength of whatever they're attaching to the pole. And the engineering group will make a determination on whether the pole needs to be replaced, reinforced, or whatever kind of make-ready work needs to be done to allow that third party to attach.
Do you forward that to the Public Improvements Commission, that analysis?
I can get you the process, and I can, I will get,
It's been a recent concern, specifically at Hyde Park, West Roxbury, and some of these poles and some of the accidents that have occurred, and I'm just wondering where this analysis, who's approving it, and are we getting notice of it? If you could do that, that would be great.
I'll get you, I'll have our engineering group provide you with their charts of what they do for analysis of the pole strength.
Thanks.
Other questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the petition by Eversource Energy to install one guy stub pole on Westminster Street, Hyde Park, located east of Hyde Park Avenue.
Second.
All in favor? So moved. The fourth item is on a petition by Eversource Energy to relocate one utility pole on Wambeck Street, Roxbury, located east of Harold Street.
Yeah, the reason for this relocation is the current overhead line that feeds backyard construction on the area is crossing the property with a, crossing too close to the house. We have to relocate the pole to move the wire away from the house.
Amy, are we okay with this
Yes.
one?
Other questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion. Oh, please.
We have someone,
Oh, please, I'm sorry.
Hi, I just wanted, I'm trying to find out the location
Sir?
of this pole.
So if you could identify yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Grant Callender. I'm the owner of 92 Wambeck Street. There's a project going on at 94 that has already adversely affected my property and use of it, with the driveway being dug out, where I can no longer use a ladder to get up to the higher levels. There's a pole situated there, and I'm wondering if this is that pole and if it's moving in front of my property or back over in front of 94.
Mr. Chappell, are you in a position to respond to this gentleman's concern as to the identity of the property where the new pole is going? Is it going in front of this gentleman who is speaking in front of us, or
Yes.
where is it going in front of his, or is it going in front of the house that is being built?
It is currently, it's going to move a little closer to your house, towards the property line between your house and 94, 96.
Okay, now,
Okay.
why can't this pole be moved in front of their property?
The reason being is because they have to move that wire closer to your property to make room for the house, but the crossing that goes behind there should not be crossing your property line. They're putting a pole in the back. And they're actually installing a new pole in the back corner of 94, 96 on private property. And they're moving that pole to the property line out in the public way, so it'll move that line away from the house.
Okay, but it's moving it in
Towards
front of,
yours,
yeah,
correct.
in front of mine, in front of my property.
What we're showing is it's gonna be on the pole is gonna be on the property line between your house and your neighbor at 94, 96.
What I'd recommend is we continue this particular item so that we can have some additional time to work out this particular issue to make sure that it works for all the parties involved. So if
Very
we're going to
good.
continue this for 2 weeks, we can have a separate conversation.
Yes, and Rick, it is important for the next hearing that we have a letter of understanding from this gentleman.
Correct.
Attesting to the fact that he is satisfied with the, okay, and Amy, if you can look after that aspect.
Pardon me? Oh, yes.
Okay?
I'll entertain a motion to continue.
I'll make a motion to continue item number 4 by Eversource Eversource Energy to relocate one utility pole along that street.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
Thank you.
Moving on to the public hearing section. The first item is on a joint petition by Win Mass LLC and the City of Boston Public Works Department for the discontinuance of any and all rights to travel the public may have had within portions of the following public ways in Charlestown. Moffett Way, generally between Alfred Street and Interstate 93. Main Street, generally between Alfred Street and Dorrance Street. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. This is as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division Discontinuance Plan, Sullivan Square, Charlestown, 3 sheets dated June 16th, 2017. Good morning.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Rebecca Lee. I'm with the law firm Vince Levin. We represent Win Mass LLC. They're a petitioner for the next 8 petitions. All 8 petitions are part of a suite of petitions that are designed to implement a series of mitigation-related improvements in Sullivan Square. To my right is Chris Gordon, the president of Win Design and Development, who will give you a brief introduction of the improvements in the project. And to my left is Rick Latini from Howard Stein Hudson Associates, the civil engineers on this aspect of the Win Boston Harbor project.
Thanks, Rebecca. Thank you for having us back. As you know from we spoke a couple weeks ago, we're in the middle of building the new resort on the Everett site. As part of that, we're required to do a fair amount of roadway mitigation to make transportation much easier to get to the site. As part of that, we've been working closely with a number of agencies on some improvements to Sullivan Square that you're seeing today. And the intent is to build all these improvements before we open, which is in the spring of 2019. So Rick is going to walk you through the intent of the improvements, and then we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you.
We have several items before you today, so I was going to just run through the overall and then try to go through the petition as quickly as possible, so we have lots of time. As you know, this is all part of the traffic mitigation for the Wynn Resort. Mitigation includes improvements for vehicle, bikes, and pedestrians. The pedestrians, we're fixing non-compliant ramps, adding ramps for the existing, adding some crosswalks, as well as some areas we're widening sidewalks to shorten crossing distance and adding new crosswalks. For bike access, there's a couple spots where we're thinking we're having separated bike lanes on Alfred Street. We're adding a 10-feet bike lane on Cambridge, adding one on Moffett Way. And as far as through traffic, we're constructing a new street off next to the current Sullivan Station Square property. We call it Beecham Street. It winds up with the Beecham Street to the north. I would allow traffic coming from Cambridge Street easterly to take a left to get to Main Street without taking some of that traffic off the rotary. We're also improving Spice Street, which is the City of Boston Street, and D Street, which is a Massport Road, and signing it so people can get to Rutherford Ave, also taking the traffic out of the rotary. So the first portion is the discontinuances. And these are more for, this is more for the City of Boston cleanup, if you will. One to Moffett Way is on this southwestern corner. It's like 189 square foot parcel. We're just discontinuing it from the public right of way because it doesn't support the roadway or the sidewalk. We're adding it to the City of Boston parcel that has, that you guys have, I believe, at least to injured parking or something. For Main Street, that's on the north side of the same parking lot. That's about a 4,300 square foot discontinuance of the public way. And actually, half of that public way is actually within the parking lot today anyhow.
Some of the stuff is just not adding up. We are looking at 2 sets of plans. One says discontinued area of 17,446 and another one that says discontinued area 4,300. So you need to connect those 2 sound bites with the 100 square footage which you are articulating. Okay?
So I went over the 2 smaller ones. The big one you're talking about, the 17,400 square feet, is this is kind of a strange one where you have this whole area here. Stretching from Moffett Way to Main Street is all in the public right of way right now. So we're partially out a new city lot in that area, that's that 17,400 square foot property package.
So the discontinuance is forming the right-of-way, and then the parcel that's created will be a City of Boston parcel that is a parking
So
lot.
you need to separate this petition to the elements that are needed for the road widening purpose to support the casino project towards housekeeping elements that the
So
city
it's,
needs.
they're one and the same, like one is we're making the street bigger, and then the creation of a parcel.
Awesome.
So we're discontinuing the parcel out of the right-of-way and then adjusting that right-of-way further. So they are separated.
So parcels that get discontinued, that are not going for the roadway reconstruction, that goes back to the ownership of
The City of Boston.
City of Boston. Okay.
So that's the essential thing of the three discontinuances, so I don't have any questions on any of them, we're just trying to clean up the parcels, stay with the City of Boston.
Where specifically does that go, Amy? When you say City of Boston?
Public Works.
So it goes to the
Yeah,
parcel itself?
so when it comes out of a right-of-way, it automatically becomes a City of Boston Public Works parcel, which then should be transferred to BTD parking lot.
So, okay, so that's outside.
That's just how we
outside.
code it in assessing.
Yes,
Just
because
interested in
Yeah.
that
the
process.
right of way was managed for a specific purpose until the roadway
Yes, when we
gets done.
discontinue, if we are the fee owner, it becomes a City of Boston Public Works parcel.
Right, because the transportation department's managing of those spots as a secondary use was
Right.
not a permanent.
That's only a requirement that it be a city parcel,
Right,
but we can code it in assessing to go straight to BTD.
I was only thinking in terms of the recent action on Sears Rotary
Yep.
and where that was transcribed, so
Yep,
I think you know what I'm talking
yep.
Other questions or comments on the discontinuance? Amy or Todd? Members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion on the discontinuance.
Make a motion to approve the joint petition by Win MA LLC and the City of Boston Public Works Department for discontinuance of any and all rights to travel. The public may have act within the portions of the following public ways as read into record by the chair and as shown on the set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Discontinuance Plan, Sullivan Square, Charlestown, 3 sheets dated June 16, 2017.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The second item is on a joint petition by Win Mass LLC and the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority and the City of Boston Public Works Department for the widening, relocation, and extension of the existing right-of-way lines of Beecham Street, Charlestown, located between Cambridge Street and Main Street. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. This is as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Widening, Relocation, and Extension Plan, Sullivan Square, Beecham Street, Charlestown, one sheet dated June 16th, 2017.
Would you do this out for every single item? or-
That'd be great.
Okay. We'll continue with Howard Stein Hudson. This unwinding is being laid out in MBTA property, so we do have Richard Delanders here who represents the BTA real estate interest. This is for that kind of property, saying from Cambridge Street to get to Main Street. The entire public way we're taking is about 58 feet wide, and 32 feet of that is actually for a publicly accessible way. The other 26 feet is going to remain exclusive to the MBTA plus movements and solid station.
Sir, since this is a public hearing, if you could identify yourself so your name is heard for the public record.
My name is Rich Delanders. I represent the MBTA.
Thank you.
And I know you talked about this a little bit when we were in new business, but can you talk about how this improves the bus operations or affects the bus operations at Sullivan Square?
Sure. Currently, these come from Cambridge Street. Everyone has to go through here. You have to round about, go back into the rotary to get back up to where they came from. So this actually gives them a way to get, bus operations on the Cambridge side. I know we made a few things about the Cambridge Street or something, but I'm not sure about. I know it's something.
Thanks, Mary.
So for bus operations on this section, this case, that works for bus uses
Great.
So that's the primary benefit.
Great.
And on that MBD bus operation, Dave Carney, Karen Burns, they're happy with the...
Yeah, we've had extensive meetings with the MBTA about the circulation.
Other questions or comments?
Boston Water and Sewer worked with the applicants on the drainage ownership issues there, and I think we have the resolution that the current owners of the drainage system, even though we're adjusting the right-of-way lines, are going to continue the maintenance and ownership of those systems.
Amy or Todd?
Mr. Chairman, Chong Liu, I'm the legal counsel for this board, and we're still finalizing the easement agreement and a maintenance agreement with MBTA between the City of Boston and the team. We have no problem with that.
Other comments from the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion on the second item.
I'll make a motion on a joint petition by Win Mass LLC and the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority and the City of Boston Public Works Department for the widening, relocation, extension of the existing right-of-way lines of Beecham Street, Charlestown, located between Cambridge Street and Main Street, as read into the record by the chair. As shown on the plan entitled City of Boston of Public Works Department in Engineering Division, widening, relocation, and extension plan, Sullivan Square, Beecham Street, Charlestown, one sheet, dated June 16, 2017.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. The third item is on a joint petition by Win Mass LLC, the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority, the Massachusetts Department of Transportation, and the City of Boston Public Works Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Cambridge Street, Charlestown, between Beecham Street and Interstate 93. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. This is as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Widening and Relocation Plan, Sullivan Square, Cambridge Street, Charlestown, one sheet dated June 16th, 2017.
Rick Matini with Howard Stein Hudson. This again is widening onto MBTA property, primarily for widening the right of way from 75 to 86 feet. This is to incorporate a left turn lane and also adding a dedicated bike lane for westerly traffic flow. Also, we also have a widening to incorporate a little portion of the sidewalk and the pedestrian ramp that over the I-93 northbound off-ramp.
Rick, you are going from a 75-foot standard right-of-way to 86 feet to what limits? From point A to what point?
It's from the I-93 northbound up to the Beecham Street.
So you're going from a 75 to 86 to back to a 75?
And then they go back to the 75 after that. Just to incorporate that left turn lane in the bike lane.
Wanted to confirm, because in our prior discussion, that one of the early action items is getting the interconnect conduit into this phase, probably as we're doing that, to run that down so that we can get that all online.
Yep.
Yes,
That's
that
the
is correct.
That's the 3,800 feet that'll be an early action in the bid package.
Excellent. Thank you.
Other questions or comments?
Beecham is going to be a new traffic signal?
Oh, yes, new signals at all three intersections.
So right now when you make a right turn off I-93, you can, the next stoplight you hit is at the circle.
No, I've come up with the next signals here.
Today, you don't have a stoplight.
Today is, yeah, correct.
And then tomorrow, we have a stoplight over there. So obviously, as Mr. Hisford has stated, those lights need to talk to each other. Otherwise, nothing is going to move through there.
Absolutely.
Other questions or comments? Amy or Todd? Members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion on the third item.
I'll make a motion on a joint petition by Win Mass LLC, the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority, the Massachusetts Department of Transportation, and the City of Boston Public Works Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines on Cambridge Street, Charlestown, located between Beecham Street and Interstate 93, as read into the record, as shown on the plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, widening and relocation plan, Sullivan Square, Cambridge Street, Charlestown. One sheet dated June 16, 2017.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. The fourth item is on a joint petition by WinMass LLC, the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority, and the City of Boston Public Works Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Moffat Way, Charlestown, located generally between Cambridge Street and a point northwesterly of Beecham Street. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. This is as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Widening and Relocation Plan, Sullivan Square, Moffat Way, Charlestown, one sheet dated June 16th, 2017.
Rick Patini with Howard Stein Hudson. The purpose of this widening and relocation is from the right turn into Sullivan Square to Beecham Street. We're actually widening to include the roadway and sidewalk. Currently, part of the sidewalks are MBTA property, part of it's on the city right away. This parcel, this is all MBTA property. We're passing out for minimum wide sidewalk in this piece. And the other widening is along here with the sidewalk is a little under 7 feet, a couple of spaces, so we're taking a thin strip around here to the minimum center of the sidewalk. I should also mention is, when you're planning to see this couple of stray City of Boston parcels that we're incorporating into the public right away.
So at the end of the day, Marfa Road within these limits are going from what right-of-way width to what? And I hope it is not to 49.2 inches or something that is doesn't look like as if a highway designer did it.
Nice even 60, it's nice even 60 feet on.
There's a reason for those nice even numbers.
And then the other one's about 60 feet, and this one is right there, about 64, 65.
Other questions or comments? Amy or Todd? Members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the joint petition by Win MA LLC, the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority, City of Boston Public Works Department for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines as read into the record by the chair and as shown on the set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, widening relocation plan, Sullivan Square, Moffat Way, Charlestown, one sheet dated June 16, 2017. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. The fifth item is on a joint petition by WinMass LLC and the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines of Main Street, Charlestown, located between Alfred Street and Beecham Street. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. This is as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Widening and Relocation Plan, Sullivan Square, Main Street West, Charlestown, one sheet dated June 16th, 2017.
Rick Patini with Howard Stein Hudson. These are all smaller widenings of MBTA property. Two on Beecham Street, those just to incorporate the pedestrian ramps into the public way, and the one near Alfred Street is for proposed drywall and also for access around the hydrant that's on there today.
And just to confirm again, the MBTA is supportive of this?
Rich Delanders, representing the MBTA, we support this petition.
Other questions or comments? Amy or Todd? Members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion on a joint petition by Win Mass LLC and the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority for the widening and relocation of the existing right-of-way lines on Main Street, Charlestown, located between Alfred Street and Beecham Street. As read into the record. As shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Widening and Relocation Plan, Sullivan Square, Main Street West, Charlestown, one sheet dated June 16, 2017.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. So moved. Our sixth item is on a joint petition by WinMass LLC and the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority for the widening, relocation, and extension of existing right-of-way lines of Spice Street, Charlestown, located at its southeasterly terminus. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. This is as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, widening, relocation, and extension plan, Sullivan Square, Spice Street, Charlestown, one sheet dated June 16th, 2017.
Howard Stein Hudson. The purpose of this one is to extend Spice Street to D Street about 28 feet. City Council is just shy of D Street. Even though D Street is Passport, we're widening it to is actually MBTA over there, which is a portion at the very end of the street. So MBTA property extend the Spice Street so we can incorporate that intersection, including the new ped ramps we're installing.
Maybe when construction gets done, who has the underlying fee ownership? If Eddie needs to put some conduits through there, do we have a subsurface on normal highway easements to do what we need to do on a street?
Highway easements are heaven to hell. Yep.
And Mr. Latini, again, your extent of widening is towards the end part of it, where it meets up D Street?
No, it's actually just enough to grab in these curves.
So it's not all of Spice Street, just where Spice at?
It's up to you see the crosswalk and then the rest of the essentially D Street.
And this is to provide a relief valve for people coming off Cambridge to.
Correct. We're improving all this, the sidewalk in 3-8, D Street's 3-8.
So when D Street hits Alfred Street or Rutherford Avenue, what happens at that point? D Street, yeah, right there.
So it's not actually a street for one, it's a map, it's just a,
I know, so
it's a right of way.
I'm trying to get to how is that relief traffic going? And when it does appear, how is it entering Rutherford Avenue?
Well, this is actually, we went to the previous road, you come from northbound to avoid the road, you take a right of Spice Street and you get to see this way. Is that your question?
Yes.
So it's under stop control.
It's under stop control, I'm sorry.
At D Street and Rutherford Ave.
That's stop control, those two go there.
Because the oncoming traffic is functioning off a traffic signal, and unless you get a pedestrian cycle, you're not going to find any gaps for those right turn traffic coming out. Yes.
I'm not sure that I heard the whole question.
Obviously, when you come out of D Street, the gaps to allow onto
Yes, there should be. We're not changing today, that's a stock condition. And that's what it will
But
be.
we're adding more volume, right? You got a new development?
It's not adding more, well, we're adding more volume into the right, yes, potentially, yes. But this pedestrian crossing is part of this traffic signal. So when this is red, you also have a headlight. So there will be gaps created, as there are today. Answer the question.
Other questions or comments? Amy or Todd? Members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the joint petition by Wynn MALLC and the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority for the widening, relocation, and extension of the existing right-of-way lines of Spice Street, as written in the record by the chair, and is shown on plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, widening, relocation, extension plan, Sullivan Square, Spice Street, Charlestown, one sheet dated June 16, 2017.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. The seventh item is on a joint petition by WinMass LLC, the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority, the Massachusetts Department of Transportation for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in Charlestown, consisting of curb realignment, roadway, sidewalk, and pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new and relocated streetlights, landscaping, bicycle infrastructure, storm drain infrastructure, traffic signal infrastructure, and driveway curb cuts. The locations are Alfred Street from Sullivan Square to a point north of Arlington Avenue, Beecham Street between Cambridge Street and Main Street, Cambridge Street between Sullivan Square and Interstate 93, Moffat Way between Sullivan Square and Interstate 93, Main Street between Mishawam Street and Doran Street, Rutherford Ave between Sullivan Square and Mishawam Street, Spice Street from Cambridge Street to a point southeasterly. This was all new business on June 22nd, 2017. It is as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repair Plan, Sullivan Square, Charlestown, 12 sheets dated June 16th, 2017.
Morning, Rick Mazzini with Howard Stein Hudson. I'm just going to run through all specific repairs in no particular order, just stop me when you want.
Before you start, Amy Weiss, MBTA joint petitioner. Because we just went through discontinuing all those properties, so are we still doing
Right,
street
so
repairs on
a
properties?
portion of this is going to include their busway, something that they are going to maintain.
Right, so for example, so the MBTA's petition just may not apply
To,
for all
it's
of
not, yeah, not every single thing, but portions of it do impact MBTA. The busway and the sidewalk adjacent to the busway, they will ultimately maintain
Yes.
and are included in these specific
like on
repairs.
Rutherford Avenue or Alfred Street.
There's,
MBTA
yes,
no.
no,
Thank you.
right. And we'll memorialize that in an MOU with the MBTA.
And, I'll start with Spice Street. It's about 34 to 37 foot wide road. We're narrowing it to 30 feet because some of the sidewalks are 6 feet here. The bituminous, there'll be a minimum 7 foot wide. I think they're 9 feet, 11 feet. There'll be cement concrete. Once again, we have new signals proposed. Building ramps here that don't exist. And a new signal here that we have New Beach Street. Rutherford Ave is just a minor where this island just pulls out a little bit. We're pulling a straight shot and helps keep a 3-foot shoulder on that side. For Alfred Street.
While we're on that stretch of Rutherford Ave, given the conversation that came up in the previous section, has there been any conversation about what we do at Rutherford and D, if indeed that requires signalization at some point and not stop control?
I think, so with respect to that, you all may or may not be aware there's a larger City of Boston project that's underway to move this year. And I think, Jim, correct me if I've got this wrong, the last I saw from the public meeting they had a few months ago is that this actually all may get moved, and that is will be coming, by the time we finish construction, hopefully they'll be wrapping, getting towards the construction documents. So there's a potential larger project, and I believe that plan then is to signalize that location. This is sort of our
The interim,
mitigation that's
yes.
leading up to Jim's bigger project.
Thanks, Gary.
Yes, continuing on, going on to Alfred Street. There's minor curb adjustments here, mostly to do with the intersection work at Main Street and Rutherford Ave. The bigger thing is we're closing some of the road, well, narrowing the roadway. It's as wide as 60 feet, and it only has 2 lanes of traffic to the south, so we're narrowing to 22 feet, which allows us to have a separated bike lane here and a sidewalk here that is a minimum 10 or 11 foot wide. We're also tightening up this intersection, which is 70 feet now, no crosswalk. Now we're providing measurement crosswalk, and the crossing is about 28 feet.
Create the new reclaimed land that is no longer a roadway, but it is either sidewalk or something else. Is it just purely sidewalk, or are there any green space?
No, there are green spaces on the interior
Right,
here.
so
I
what
talked to
is-
Liza Meyer, and she's actually they're gonna maintain it, but they are gonna coordinate with Jim Blue, because as far as the plantings, we don't want to overboard because it might get wiped out by the city in a couple of years.
So is Mr. Gordon's team planting any landscaping over there in the meantime? Because there might be a gap between this project and the other
So
project.
we install, the landscape on this plan, we install, and then the city maintains, and then, I don't want to speak for
Yeah,
Jim, but down the road, we'll
Okay,
make a
got
different plan for the future.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, we're still working out with Liza too, because we need I believe we need a construction license from her to work in this area, so, and she's coordinating with Jim Blue on this project.
So that's being proposed for construction, staging, laydown area.
Yeah, that's, one of the, as was mentioned, we didn't, originally there was big trees and that sort of stuff, and the suggestion was don't do that now because it's probably going to be reclaimed for things like construction staging the next 3 or 4 years. So we're going to make it nice, but it's not going to be huge trees and that sort of thing at this point.
What is the expected timeline of the larger project?
Jim?
The bigger project is expected to be advertised in the year 2020, and construction starting in the year 2021, taking place over about a 4 or 5 year period. And for the record, Jim Gill will possibly take that time.
But note Mr. Despert's points, because the underpass, we have a lot of issues that are in that area, and there's a need for surface areas for construction vehicles because we really can. So Chris, I'm very happy that you are investing to make our gateway a little bit palatable, but I hate to waste anyone's money. So hopefully we find that appropriate balance.
No, we agree. We sort of had that balance. We don't want to leave it like it is, but we know it's not going to be there forever, so we're sort of doing it'll be nice, grass and some plantings, but not a full-scale landscape.
I'm involved in construction, but I'm all about the aesthetics too, so that's good.
This is essentially a 3-year condition then.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we want to be miles away next, we're adding a bike lane, we're also adding like a signal, currently we have one way here to cross over these parking lots, so new crosswalks here. Also on Main Street here, we're adding a left turn lane onto the Sullivan Square station, which before it became from Main Street, that's go all the way around the road, we come back, there's the bus coming over here, now that we'll come in this way, it's much easier.
It's fine, if I can have a moment, just for a simple yes, no thing. So if we are introducing a bike lane through this corridor, and you are confident that the volume to VOC ratios and the capacity that is within the remaining roadway is palatable with the volumes that are being expected to serve the operational needs of these roadways for all modes of transportation.
Yes.
So
60%.
So a couple of other things too, so about a 7-foot gap piece, and that was to be out like 24 feet crossover there, but we're also adding an 18-foot wide driveway in this parking lot, a 32-foot one in this one. Currently they come here and access off that way, so this parking lot has a driveway on Markaway, and it has one out on Main Street. This one just has one 2-way on Markaway. Let's see, everything else. Well, obviously Beecham Street, that we already talked about that. That's going to be a 24-foot wide roadway on the city's eastern side. These would be like minimum 9-foot wide sidewalks on here for pedestrian access. We talked about Cambridge Street, we're widening it to get like a 9-foot wide sidewalk here, a bike lane that doesn't exist today. And also this new entry, exit from Sullivan Square Station doesn't exist today. Just want to get these people from going into the road and be back out this way. Last thing I mentioned was on Main Street, we're reconfiguring traffic house step to allow the step near the bike lane, and the reason for that is there's a bus shelter right here that stops and gets some bikes ways when it's there, so we're going to have separated lane. I think that's my brief version. If you have questions.
Questions on the specific repairs? Amir Todd?
That we're continuing to work with the applicant on the 100% construction plans. Revisions were delivered yesterday. They have not been reviewed and commented on yet. So concurrent with the PIC process, we expect revised sheets will be added to the 100% construction plan moving forward, dealing with the stormwater infrastructure.
Chris, for the benefit of the commission members, those who may have an interest in it, so the mechanics through which this work gets constructed, can you just hit the high points on that?
We're going to bid this out to a list of what I would call sort of reputable highway builders that have done this kind of work for the city and for the state before. The way the project is set up, it does fall under our project labor agreement for the project. That's required. They are required to provide their own insurance, so it's not under the OSIP. They'll bring their own insurance. That contract will be brought on board as a contractor to win, but we'll be working very closely with the city and the state agencies and certainly Boston Water and Sewer for inspections and sign-off and that sort of work. So it'll be a win contractor, but it's frankly going to be watched by a lot of groups to make sure they're putting in the proper work. At the end, we do the normal, we'll do the commissioning, the as-built, and turn that all back over to the city and the state agencies when we're done.
So you will advertise the work will be done through permits issued by the city and relevant agencies, the
Correct.
necessary, so there's, we won't, we'll manage those permits as they are normally managed for all types of construction. Getting the streets back to the city will be through the Public Improvement Commission process, which would require City Public Works departments to ensure that the work has been done, including Water and Sewer and the Transportation Department. It is incumbent upon your resident engineers to ensure that there's timely approval For example, water and sewer may not be able to inspect something. So I mean, you know the historical peaks. So
No, you're right. It's going to take close coordination because we can't do this unilaterally. So we want to have
because at the end of the day, these are city streets which you are playing, and you will need to ensure that there's appropriate construction coordination and review and approval by the respective agencies before putting PIC into an awkward position by having these line departments to review something where the earth has been settled or the cover.
No, we agree. And one of the things we've done is we've intentionally put this under one contractor, and that'll allow us to have a closer handle on the throttle. If the traffic disruption, for example, is an issue, or if the time of work is an issue, having one large contractor we felt was a good fit, because then all the city and the state agencies can work with us to make sure it's carefully done. So yes to all that.
Thank you, sir.
Any other comments? All right, I'll entertain a motion on item 7.
I'll make a motion to approve the joint petition by Win NL LLC, the Massachusetts Bay Transportation Authority, and the Massachusetts Department of Transportation for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in Charlestown, consisting of curb realignment, roadway, sidewalk, and pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new and relocated streetlights, landscaping, bicycle infrastructure, storm drain infrastructure, traffic signal infrastructure, and driveway curb cuts. All is read into the record by the chair and has shown a set of plans entitled City of Boston, Public Works Department, Engineering Division, specific repair plan, Sullivan Square, Charlestown, 12 sheets dated June 16, 2017, with the caveat that water and sewer final construction plans are, formally signed off. Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And again, we'll be back for the Alfred Street at a later date.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item is on a petition by Elliott Hotel, Inc. for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in Boston proper, consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk median, and pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new and relocated specialty pavement, street lights, street trees, storm drain infrastructure, and bicycle infrastructure. The locations are Massachusetts Avenue on its westerly side, south of Commonwealth Avenue, and Commonwealth Avenue on its southerly side at address number 370, west of Massachusetts Avenue. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. It's as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repair, Elliott Hotel, Massachusetts Avenue, Separated Bike Lane Improvements, Boston, 6 sheets dated June 2017.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. My name is Kevin Duffy, and I'm here on behalf of the Elliott Hotel. I'm here to present to you for a public hearing our proposed plan. In the fall of last year, the valet zone in front of the property was moved towards the roadway, and the adjacent bike lane was moved along the curb in line with the city's Vision Zero project. Our proposal is to ramp that cycle track adjacent to the sidewalk at grade, and beyond that to create a concrete loading area for unloading of passengers for a new valet zone, which will allow for ADA accessibility for both the hotel and the restaurant at this location. Following our meeting or our presentation 3 weeks ago, we did have some minor comments that were given to us by the Boston Transportation Department, including adding a channelization hatch before the valet zone, and to put in skip lines to help guide traffic from Com Ave onto Mass Ave, because there's been an issue with cars backing up behind the valet zone. And we've also changed the orientation of all the proposed signage. One item that was not presented to us 3 weeks ago that came up last week from BTD was possibly relocating the bicycle yield to pedestrian signs. We're currently showing it at the entrance to the ramp, just next to the southern sidewalk. And we'd like to keep it at that location. It was proposed to move it closer to the crosswalk that we're showing across the cycle track. 2 reasons for that is, one, the proposed city tree that we'll be putting in could be a visual obstruction to cyclists in this area. And as much as we would like for all patrons to use this crosswalk across the cycle track, there is a very good possibility they'll be tired from traveling, that they're just going to walk straight across. So putting an obstruction on that path, we feel would not be beneficial to both the cyclists and the patrons.
BTD Engineering agrees with that assessment. So
okay, great.
Consider that done.
Okay.
You also need reaction time to absorb what you're reading and stop.
Yeah. So with that, we've made all the edits that were requested of us. And as far as the license, maintenance, and indemnification agreement, we've been working with Boston Legal Counsel on that. I know that they've been having back and forth, and we hope to have that finalized soon. So I was hoping for a conditional approval pending that agreement being finalized.
John, is there anything you? Other questions or comments?
I'd just like to, again, note that it's been a great partnership, their ownership, and the team has taken time and care, and in fact, you've taken a lead, and it's a great project. So we really sincerely appreciate your efforts and the time that you guys have put into it. So thank you very much.
You did big improvements on that bike lane.
Yes, agreed.
All right. Well, thank you, and same to Boston Transportation Department. We have enjoyed working with you and look forward to constructing.
Amy or Todd?
We're good.
Members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion on the petition by the Elliott Hotel Inc. for making specific repairs within the following public ways in Boston proper, consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk median, pedestrian ramp construction, as well as a new and relocated specialty pavement, street lights, street trees, storm drain infrastructure, and bicycle infrastructure. As read into the record by the chair, as shown on the set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repair, Elliott Hotel, Massachusetts Avenue, Separated Bike Lane Improvements, Boston, 6 sheets dated June 2017.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
The ninth item is on a petition by 105 West First Street, owner LLC, and Boston America Realty Trust for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in South Boston, consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk and pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new and relocated specialty pavement, street lights, street trees, storm drain infrastructure, irrigation infrastructure, and driveway curb cuts. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. The locations are West First Street on its southwesterly side, generally northwest of the South Boston Hall Road, and West 2nd Street on its northeasterly side, generally northwest of the South Boston Hall Road. This is as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repairs Plan, 105 West 1st Street, West 2nd Street, South Boston, 2 sheets dated May 2017.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the Commission. My name is Rebecca Lee. I'm with Mintz Levin, and we represent the petitioner here. 105 West 1st Street owner LLC has this property under agreement, and after the demolition of the existing building and the vacation of the building by the existing tenant, we'll be building a 250,000 square foot office building that has recently received PDA approval. To my left is Deb Danek from Niche Engineering, the civil engineer on this project, Eli Long representing the owner, and to my right, Ralph Denisko, the transportation engineer. This project is located between West 1st Street and West 2nd Street. It's a 7-story building, has received Conservation Commission approval, as well as BCDC approval, and we expect that we'll go into construction as soon as the existing tenant vacates it. So Deb is going to present the specific repairs on West 1st and West 2nd Street.
Thank you again. My name is Deborah Danek. I'm a project manager with Niche Engineering. This is the building as seen from West 2nd Street. Before you were requesting specific repairs to both West 1st Street and West 2nd Street on the project. West 1st Street is the northern bounding of our project site, and West 2nd Street is the southern bounding. The existing West 1st Street sidewalk is 6 feet wide cement concrete block with granite curb. We're proposing in front of our building to provide a 6-foot bump out of that sidewalk for more area for pedestrians. One thing I failed to mention is that West 1st Street in this location is a dead-end road. It is cut off by the Hall Road. So currently pedestrian travel in this area walks east along West 1st Street and then crosses the West 1st Street dogleg to curl up Medallion Avenue. So as part of our proposal, we're bumping out that landing area basically for the pedestrian crosswalk as well as in front of our building to have a 12-foot wide cement concrete sidewalk with granite curb So included in our improvements are a new pedestrian ramp in this location, as well as a crosswalk. With the curb bump out, we're gonna have to reconstruct an existing catch basin on the south side of West First Street, as well as relocate a fire hydrant to the other side of the road. Are there any questions to West First Street, or should I start talking about West Second Street?
Go ahead, Wesley.
Okay. So West Second Street does bound the south side of our site, and in real life, West Second Street is approximately 11 feet higher in elevation than West First Street. The existing West Second Street roadway, or sidewalk, excuse me, is 8 feet wide cement concrete with granite curb and also a couple of street lights. In the same fashion that we're doing on the other side on West First Street, we're proposing here to bump out the sidewalk curb in order to provide a better pedestrian area and streetscape, as well as minimize the drivable area of West First Street. Existing now, the pavement is over 30 feet wide, and currently on the north side of the road is labeled as no parking signs, and on the south side of the road there is 2-hour parking as well as no parking during a snow emergency. So we're proposing to take the 8-foot wide cement concrete sidewalk and bump it out to have a 16-foot wide sidewalk for pedestrians. And included in that sidewalk width, there's a 4-foot wide tree zone, which has raised tree planters as well as permeable pavers in between the tree planters. We're proposing 2 new street lights, irrigation within the landscaped areas, under drains, and also with the bump out, we have another hydrant relocation here. Currently, there were some questions at our new business hearing, which had to do with the existing parking along West Second Street. And as I mentioned before, there's no parking currently signed on our side of the sidewalk. The other side does allow parking. West Second Street, I failed to mention, is also a one-way road in the western direction. So with our curb bump out, there'll still be a 26-foot wide paved roadway, which, you know, for kind of typical city standard widths allows a 6-foot wide parking lane to be maintained on the south side, as well as 2 10-foot wide lanes.
A 6-foot parking lane?
With the 26-foot wide,
So you 2 10s and a 6-foot parking.
yeah.
Generally, our standards 7.5 feet.
Okay, lots of times when we do bump outs and sidewalks, they're 6 feet. So we can definitely continue to talk about that if you want. Another question was about the TAPA status. We submitted the TAPA earlier this week to the Transportation Department. And then we had some questions about the status with BWSC. We've submitted to BWSC. It's still under review for site plan approval, but we have gotten approval for the backflow prevention for the proposed irrigation that we're showing.
That's correct. That's been addressed. We're still reviewing, going back and forth the comments on the site plan. I think at this point, it's pretty immaterial to the PIC hearing. It's logistics on that catch basin on the West First Street side.
Okay. Yeah, and we'll definitely adjust as needed to meet BWSC's requirements.
Ebra, conditions of the sidewalk on West Second Street and West First Street going towards A Street beyond your property. How good are those sidewalks?
So,
I'll cut to the chase. South Boston, this whole area is getting more and more housing units.
yeah.
The area was more commercial. We were balancing the conditions of the sidewalks.
This is
So now-
adjacent to Artists for Humanity, which just came through PIC with
so
their
are
sidewalk.
they clean on both sides? Because right now we don't want to have
Yes,
the
we made
burden
these guys coordinate with Artists for Humanity to ensure that
all the
on
way
these.
to A Street.
Yep.
So I'm not so, on my part of it, I don't know what the CMP, the construction management plan, how that's been coordinated, because they have some, right now, their construction management plan calls for a lot of radical construction setups, and I don't know how it's gonna work with yours, so I think we need to get both teams into a room and have both CMPs on the table so we can coordinate this a little bit better.
Just to clarify, there's an existing tenant in the existing building.
Yep.
Until there is an agreement as to when they're going to leave, we can't actually tell you what quarter of 2018 this project will proceed, and we don't have a CM on board. but Eli is more than happy to participate in a BTD meeting with Artists in Humanity. May I just ask a clarification question about one of your comments?
Yep.
Are you suggesting that the bump out on West 2nd Street be less than 8 feet in order to allow a wider
No, I'm talking-
street paved area on West 2nd?
I'm talking specifically a 6-foot parking lane.
Right.
Does not cut it.
Okay, so what we're looking at is an amendment to the specific repair plan to allow for at least a 7.5-foot wide parking lane, and then 2 10-foot wide lanes, and then whatever left over is going to be the sidewalk on West 2nd Street adjacent to the building?
Correct.
Okay, all right, so we'll submit a revised plan showing that. Thank you.
Other questions or comments?
Todd?
No, we will take whatever they come up with as their revised roadway cross-section and circulate it back through the departments to make sure it's okay before we move to Mylar.
Great. All right, members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion on a joint petition by 105 West First Street owner LLC and Boston America Realty Trust for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in South Boston, consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk and pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new and relocated specialty pavement, street lights, street trees, storm drain infrastructure, irrigation infrastructure, and driveway curb cuts. All is read into the record as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repairs Plan, 105 West 1st Street, West 2nd Street in South Boston. 2 sheets dated May 2017.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. The next item is on a joint petition by 105 West 1st Street, owner LLC and Boston America Realty Trust for the granting of an earth retention license for the installation of a temporary earth support system within West 1st Street, South Boston, located on its southwesterly side, generally northwest of the South Boston Hall Road. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. This is as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Temporary Earth Retention Plan, 105 West 1st Street, Boston, 1 sheet dated May 19th, 2017.
Thank you for having us again. I'm Deborah Danik with Niche Engineering, the project engineer for this project. As previously shown on our plans, we're proposing an earth retention system in order to build the building that we described earlier in our specific repairs request. We actually only need earth retention on the West 1st Street side of the building. The proposed earth retention will be, shoulder piles with flagging. It'll run along the length of our parcel, which is about 200 feet. And after it's not needed anymore, it will be cut off and removed at least 6 feet below grade.
What is the depth of the earth retention system from street level to the bottom of the excavation?
It goes about to Boston City-based elevation, -20-ish.
So is it close to 40 feet of excavation?
It's about 30 feet, 35.
35 feet?
Yeah.
Is underpinning involved with existing structures?
Existing structure?
That abuts?
It's a street.
There's no other buildings that are butt up next to the property?
Not on that side, no, it's a city street.
But the other side?
So there's a driveway in between our building and the building adjacent to us.
Okay.
And
So
on the
you're
other
going
side,
out 30 feet, and there's no other SOE that's required, just on the First Street?
outside the property line, exactly. So on West 2nd Street, existing West 2nd Street is about 15 feet higher than West 1st Street. So we're using that grade change, and then we're gonna work within the site to go deeper as needed.
And how does that work with the construction management plan, of what you're gonna be required right away?
Excuse me?
How does that work with the construction management plan methodology with what you're proposing, and what's the impact to the right of way?
The owner is in the process of acquiring from the Massachusetts Department of Transportation an empty parcel that's at the terminus of West First Street, between West 1st Street and the Hall Road, and that will be used for construction staging.
No, my specific question is relative to the methodology of construction. You install that SOE in the temporary earth retention system, what is the impact on what you're gonna need of the public way to basically enable the building to be built?
So it's shown on this plan is where we intend the temporary earth support to actually be in the roadway. Beyond that, to get that installed, we don't have a construction manager on board yet. So when that happens, we'll be providing a construction management plan that will meet the requirements of BTD to get.
And again, I mean, we're approving something that I don't know what your construction methodology is, and what they're gonna be looking for as far as constructing that building, exterior finishes, tower crane, how we're gonna do that with
Sure, and
that
this
constraint.
is a dead-end section of road, so there is no, we won't really be in an everyday public travel way. We'll be on the stub end of West First Street, which is the city of Boston Street, and then a MassDOT parcel which dead ends into the Hall Road, which has no
My
through
point being
access.
is that you don't build a building from the property line. You will be in the right of way, not only your SOE, but what you need extending upon that to build the building. So that needs to be demonstrated.
Right, and we will get your approval for the CMP.
I just don't want to lock myself into something that I haven't seen.
Understood.
So due to the extensive earth retaining system, BWSC is going to require pre and post television inspection of the gravity utilities, storm drain and sewer that are adjacent to the supportive excavation. What we've been finding is as these systems go down and they're pinned against the wall, our sewers are getting filled with grout. So we need pre-inspection of the drains in the sewers for condition, and then post-inspection to determine if there are any impacts from the supportive excavation.
Absolutely, yeah, we'll add that to the construction documents and the contractor requirements for this project.
Great, thank you.
Other comments or questions? Amy or Todd? Members of the public? All right. I'll entertain a motion acknowledging that there's a review on the construction management side that needs to happen. And final approval really comes from BTD's approval of the CMP down the line.
Make a motion to approve the joint petition by 105 West First Street owner LLC in Boston America Realty Trust, the granting of an earth retention license, the installation of a temporary earth support system within West First Street, South Boston, located on the southwesterly side, generally northwest of the South Boston Hall Road, as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Temporary Earth Retention System, 105 West First Street, Boston, one sheet dated May 19th, 2017, with the caveat that the CMP is finalized to the satisfaction of the Boston Transportation.
All in favor? So moved. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item is on a petition by MEPT Seaport 13 Stilling Street LLC for the granting of a projection license for the installation of a canopy over a portion of the sidewalk within Boston Wharf Road, South Boston, located on its northwesterly side at the address number 22, generally northeast of Congress Street. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. This is as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division Canopy License Plan, 22 Boston Wharf Road, South Boston, one sheet dated June 2017.
Good morning, my name is John Schmidt with Niche Engineering, and I'm here presenting on behalf of the applicant. The existing building has a canopy that projects 2.3 feet into the public way, 12 feet above grade. It's about 25 feet long. We are proposing replacing that canopy with a similar canopy, which maintains the same projection at 2.3 feet. It's actually a foot higher than the existing canopy at 12.8 feet, but it's 46 feet long for a total area of 80 square feet. The canopy will be heat traced and internally drained. The project was approved by Landmarks in May 16th of 2017, and this work is anticipated to be completed this fall, and it's part of the ongoing construction that's happening at 22 Boston Wharf Road by Consigli.
Questions or comments? Amy or Todd? Members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll propose a motion on a petition by MEPT Seaport 13 Stillings LLC for granting of a projection license for the installation of a canopy over a portion of the sidewalk within Boston Wharf Road, South Boston, located on its northwesterly side at address number 22, generally northeast of Congress Street. As shown on the plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Canopy License Plan, 22 Boston Wharf Road, South Boston, one sheet dated June 2017.
Second.
All in favor? So moved. Thank you. The next item is on a petition by AO Flats at Forest Hills LLC for the acceptance of a pedestrian easement adjacent to Hyde Park Avenue, West Roxbury, located on its northwesterly side, generally southwest of Ukraine Way. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. This is as shown on a plan entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Pedestrian Easement Plan 93-95 Hyde Park Avenue, Jamaica Plain, one sheet dated June 2017.
Good morning. My name is Nathan Dalkey. I represent the owner, AO Flats LLC at Forest Hills LLC, as well as the developer, the community builders from Boston. To my left is Reed Harmon of the architectural team, the architect of record. His left is Mr. Bill Marr of Niche Engineering, and then also Mike Santos of Howard Stein Hudson.
For the record, my name is Bill Myers, representative of Engineering. We are before this commission for the hearing for the easements for the property known as AO Flats at 9395 Hyde Park Avenue. We are proposing the indent of the existing curb line sidewalk to provide for 8 on-street parking spots, and as such, we need to shift the sidewalk onto private property and grant some easement for that access.
The on-street parking spots are regulated by the Transportation Department. Has that regulation been determined by now?
Last time we were told it was 8 two-hour parking spots.
Yes, there are parking spaces. There's 7 2-hour parking spaces. Mike Santos, Howard Stein Hudson. There's 7 2-hour parking spaces and 1 handicap space.
And all access to your property service access deliveries will be from the backside, that is coming off a curb cut of Ukraine Way?
No, it's coming off of
the other side.
Rock Hill Street, that intersection there.
From the adjacent property?
Correct.
And you have an easement to come behind that property?
Yes. Correct.
Currently, any parking on that stretch of Hyde Park Ave?
No.
No.
Except for the opposite.
Right. Southbound side.
There are no bus stops or anything around here, right?
No, they're not. To be honest with you, the nearest bus stop is
Hyde Park.
Other questions or comments? No. Amy or Todd? Members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the petition by AO Flats at Forest Hills LLC for the acceptance of a pedestrian easement adjacent to Hyde Park Avenue, West Roxbury, located on its northwesterly side, generally southwest of Ukraine Way, as shown on the set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division Pedestrian Easement Plan 9395 Hyde Park Avenue, Jamaica Plain, one sheet dated June 2017.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. So moved. The next item is on a petition by AO Flats at Forest Hills LLC for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in West Roxbury, consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk, and pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new and relocated street trees, street lighting infrastructure, and storm drain infrastructure. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. Locations are Hyde Park Avenue on its northwesterly side, generally southwest of Ukraine Way. Ukraine Way on its southwesterly side, generally northwest of Hyde Park Avenue. Is as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division Specific Repairs Plan 93-95 Hyde Park Avenue, Jamaica Plain, 3 sheets dated June 2017.
Reintroduce. Sorry. Nathan Dalkey, representing AO Flats LLC, AO Flats at Forest Hills LLC, and the community builders. Bill Marr, niche.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is Bill Meyer with Data Engineering, City of West New Hampshire, with Data Engineering. And we are here before the commission to seek specific repairs to portion of Crane Way along a portion of the property that was set by Broadway, as well as Hyde Park Avenue for the on-street parking spaces, which does also include some relocation of streetlights and so forth. We have been in contact with streetlight division and revised layout. Light poles, we have new standard covers for all handholds, these kind of products.
So, quick question for you. Are there any underground parking spots within your building?
There is underground parking, yes.
Okay, so does each property owner within their property deed, will it be specified that they have an easement from the site that is coming off from Walk Hill? Because if I'm buying a property over there and I expect the car to be parked in there, we are not providing any other curb cuts on either Ukraine Way or Hyde Park. So I need to have a legal way to go over someone else's property.
The property will be rentals only. There will be no condos, so there will be no ownership from the tenant's point of view. So the parking spots underneath the building will also be available for rental to those tenants.
So what rights will they have to go over someone else's
The
property?
easement goes to the building, not to the
Yeah.
individual.
So it will be structured in it so that anyone who lives in the building.
Right, that building has an easement to use that to enter their garage.
Whatever if those conditions should falter from the Walk Hill side, we will not be able to give you a curb cut of Ukraine Way.
But a easement with the owner from Lot A and Lot B has been secured.
Okay,
for access and
solid. So those are good solid stuff.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, staff, Ukraine Way, is the whole thing City of Boston right away? Or is it MBTA, Conrail? Because it's a bridge.
Yeah, I don't know what that little section is, but I can find out.
It is not ours.
Yeah.
And I believe we covered this in new business, but you expect ground floor retail?
Yes.
Of some form, and the loading for that?
The loading deliveries will be done in the backside, correct.
Because with parking, don't make it traumatic for us to have a double parked vehicle. It will just mess things up.
Yes.
Has the site plan been approved by BWC yet?
Not this time.
It's still in the process, okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
I know that Woods has been on vacation for the past week or so, lots.
Yes.
But he does have the site plan as well as the easement plan that we are seeking from Boston Water and Sewer as well.
Okay.
Any bike parking as part of the specific repairs? Any bike parking that you expect to put on the curb? Yes.
Bike parking?
Yes. It's all part of the tab. They've got it. Yep. We wouldn't forget that.
Any other questions or comments? Amy or Todd? Members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion on a petition by AO Flats and Forest Hills LLC for the making of specific repairs within the following public ways in West Roxbury, consisting of curb realignment, sidewalk and pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new and relocated street trees, street lighting infrastructure, and storm drain infrastructure, as read into the record, as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repairs Plan, 9395 Hyde Park Avenue, Jamaica Plain, 3 sheets, dated June 2017.
Second.
All in favor? So moved. Thank you. The next item is on a petition by the Asian Community Development Corporation for the granting of a projection license for the installation of a canopy over a portion of the sidewalk within Washington Street, Boston proper, located on its easterly side at address number 888, generally between Oak Street and Pine Street. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017. This is as shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, License Plan 888 Washington Street, Chinatown, 2 sheets dated April 21st, 2017.
Good morning. I'm Juliet Borja. I am petitioning on behalf of the owner, Asian Community Development Corporation. We would like to install a new curved steel sign with the address of the apartment building on the face of the main high-rise.
Any questions or comments? Amy or Todd? Members of the public? All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the petition by the Asian Community Development Corporation for the granting of a projection license for the installation of a canopy over a portion of sidewalk, read into the record by the chair and is shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department Engineering Division, License Plan 888, Washington Street, Chinatown, 2 sheets dated April 21st, 2017.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you. The next item is on a petition by the City of Boston Public Works Department for the making of specific repairs within Quincy Street, Dorchester, on both sides between Blue Hill Avenue and Columbia Road, consisting of curb realignment, roadway, sidewalk, and pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new and relocated specialty pavements, street lights, and street trees. This was new business on June 22nd, 2017, and as is shown on a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repair, Quincy Street, Dorchester, 7 sheets dated May 12th, 2017. Morning, Jeff.
Morning, members of the commission. My name is Jeffrey Alexis, Public Works. I'm the project manager for the design of Quincy Street. I'm tasked with this project as part of the Choice Neighborhood Initiative. We hired STV as a consultant for the design. I'll turn it over to
Hi, good morning. As you remember, this project is going to be reconstructing Quincy Street, replacing sidewalks, we're going to be adding street trees, replacing the street lighting, and adding parking along the corridor. There are 2 types of specialty pavement, including a stamped asphalt and accent strip along the curb line, and pervious pavement panels behind each street tree to allow water infiltration. In the last few weeks since we appeared before you, I've been chasing down the utility company contacts. So far, we've had only 1 response requesting the elimination of 2 proposed trees near some National Grid gas infrastructure. And then we've also been working with disabilities. We added some passing spaces in the accent strip every 200 feet or so that people can pass on the sidewalk. Other than that, we've had no comments.
Okay. Other questions or comments from here?
Good job by staff on the plans and coordination, so thank you very much.
Yeah, this was a great project because we were able to get in there first, upgrade our infrastructure, and then have Public Works reconstruct the street, so it's a big win. Yeah.
Amy or Todd? Members of the public? All right. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the petition by the City of Boston Public Works Department for making of specific repairs within Quincy Street, Dorchester, on both sides of between Blue Hill Avenue and Columbia Road, consisting of curb realignment, roadway, sidewalk, and pedestrian ramp reconstruction, as well as new and relocated specialty pavement, street lights, and street trees. All are shown in a set of plans entitled City of Boston Public Works Department, Engineering Division, Specific Repair, Quincy Street, Dorchester, 7 sheets dated May 12, 2017.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Thank you. The next item is on a petition by the City of Boston Public Improvement Commission for the adoption of a city policy concerning updated design guidelines and requirements for sidewalk cafes within the public way. This was new business on June 8th, 2017.
My name is Chong Liu. I'm the legal counsel for this board. A couple weeks ago, and the commission asked me to look into the policy, the sidewalk cafe guideline. To our pleasant, there's more inquiries and interest from both within the city hall and the public, and so we need a little bit more time to look into it. And once the city consolidates our position, we want to give the public enough time to comment before we recommend to commission for the final to take the action. So I respectfully ask Commission to continue this matter until August 24th.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion to continue this till August 24th.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to continue the petition by the City of Boston Public Improvement Commission for the adoption of a city policy concerning updated design guidelines and requirements for sidewalk-wide cafes within the public way.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved. Moving on to new business. The first item is 742-744 Columbus Ave, Burke Street, Roxbury, pedestrian easement and specific repairs on a joint petition by ACCOP, Columbus Ave, LLC, and Northeastern University.
Good morning. For the record, Chris Rainier from Goulston and Stores here on behalf of co-petitioner American Campus Communities. I have with me Kirsten Brown from North Star Real Estate, ACC's project manager, Amy Lane from Northeastern, the project manager, as well as Chris Hodney from Niche Engineering. Just briefly, some overview of this project. A really exciting partnership between American Campus Communities, who is the nation's largest private dormitory company, manages over 200 properties and over 100,000 beds nationally. They've partnered with Northeastern to create a dormitory for the university at the corner of Columbus Ave and Burke Street. This dormitory was a commitment Northeastern made to the community to build within a certain time frame of implementation of its institutional master plan. So this is in fulfillment of that obligation, and we'll have about 825 beds for Northeastern students. So we're here this morning respectfully for a request for a specific repair plan approval along Columbus Avenue and Burke Street, and then also the grant of a pedestrian easement along Burke Street that deals with maintaining some required ADA minimum passages. So with that, I'll turn it over to Chris Hodney. Thank you.
All right, so the work along Burke Street, it's approximately 275 linear feet. The work along Burke Street, approximately.
Speak up, sir. I'm sorry.
All right, so now.
Go ahead, Chris. If you can just speak loudly.
All right, so the work along Burke Street is approximately 275 linear feet of new curb and sidewalk. So it's Burke Street between Columbus Ave and Tremont Street. So the work basically consists of new curb, 18-inch wide permeable strip, concrete sidewalk, city standard, pedestrian ramps, and new trees, as well as bike racks. We have met with the Disabilities Commission and discussed the 18-inch wide permeable strip and the need for a 5-foot wide sidewalk, so that's why we are also asking for a pedestrian easement to make up the difference that we need to get to that 5-foot width. Street lighting will just be removed and reset, and the storm drainage along the street should be essentially maintained as it is today. And I believe there's a CMP and a TAPA plan that have been reviewed by Boston Transportation Department.
We have a time crunch with this location today, so we have very few minutes per item. Your specific repair plan, can you amplify how it juts out into the street? I mean, this is not the normal stuff which we see.
Projects out into the street?
Yes.
So the curb line today comes around here. There's a curb extension. We're extending that down Burke Street towards Tremont, 3 feet. And then we're maintaining the existing curb line with another bump out about midway through and then extending along.
What are those other two little, look at your own sketch.
This area?
Yes.
Further
keep going,
to the right.
keep going.
Going to the right.
Towards Tremont.
Are those utility?
Those are utility trimmers. Yeah. That's the middle.
Shouldn't be showing those up.
You should not. Thank you.
What's the bump out for mid-block? Crosswalk there, what's going on?
The mid-block bump out here. Yep. So there'll be 2 trees planted there, and that's for wind mitigation purposes.
What?
What is the net width of the sidewalk? You need to sort of.
So the net width of the concrete sidewalk is 5 feet.
Right, okay. mark up the plans appropriately. PIC staff will give you guidance. Your plans are not very specific, but I don't want to waste the time that's there today.
This is currently in site plan with BWSC, right?
We have also already approved.
It's already been approved?
Yes.
How's the street program with that neck down? We got current parking on the street. What's the program?
I don't think there's going to be parking on Burke Street.
Oh, that's a decision which the city gets to make?
Yes.
So when you bump out, your second bump out, you need to show what is the remaining roadway width that is left, so that the city can make a determination whether that remaining roadway width is compatible with the city's need to manage Burke Street.
So you're saying that there's going to be no parking on the street? Is that what you just said?
I will check into that and get back to you.
Thank you.
Other questions or comments? Amy or Todd? All right. 2 weeks enough time? 27th? Okay. All right.
Thank
See
you.
on 27th. The next item of new business is 89-95 Brighton Avenue, Linden Street, Brighton. Pedestrian easement, specific repairs, projection license on a set of petitions by Brighton Gardner Properties, LLC.
Sorry. He's it. Good morning. I'm Noah Maslin with Eden Properties. We're the developer on behalf of the owner, Brighton Gardner Properties LLC. We've been working for the last couple of years assembling these parcels and putting together this redevelopment plan that was approved by the BPDA as well as the ZBA. And it includes the redevelopment of a former Avis budget parking facility, rental facility, as well as some parking areas and 89 Brighton Avenue, which was the former National Bike Center building, into ground floor retail along Brighton Avenue, as well as 129 apartments above and associated parking and bicycle park.
Hi, I'm Nidhi John. I'm from the Architects PCA in Cambridge. I was going to briefly update you on the project, just to give a basic program and overview, and then I'll pass it on to Mark at VHB. As Noah introduced the project, the program is a multifamily. It's rental apartments. It has retail in the front facing Brighton Ave, and we have parking that's screened behind Brighton Ave. This site plan is up just to show you. And this is Brighton Ave. That's Linden Street, and that's Gardner Street. So the property is basically 3 parcels, and it abuts 3 different streets. So in terms of the architecture of the project, we intentionally had it feel like 3 different buildings to respect the existing residential context on 3 different streets. We have a taller building on Brighton Ave, and I have a few boards here, 3 boards that just show before and afters of the project. This is the top one is the existing photo. The one that Noah talked about is the Avis budget building that no longer exists. And this is front retail that shows you retail facing Brighton Ave. We've used the complete street guidelines as our basis. We are keeping the existing trees, adding bike racks, and improving the overall pedestrian experience on Brighton Ave. On Brighton Ave and Linden Street, we have pushed the building back 2 feet from the property line to give more width from a pedestrian experience. This is a view of Linden Street looking down towards Brighton Ave. If I was on Gardner looking down the old site with the long curve that we're reducing, that's the entrance that's screened to the parking at the back and more of a residential. The residential entrance is off of Brighton Ave for this project. And lastly, I have Gardner Street, and that's the existing building that is staying our neighbor, and we are infilling in this part of the project, which again keeps with the vernacular of the neighbor and the bays and the height. So the building has 3 different heights and 3 different streets to respect that. I will happy to answer any further questions and pass it on.
Hi, I'll just go. I'm Mark Jackson with VHB. I'm going to go through all the actions. We're proposing 3 today. For specific repairs for the 3 streets abutting the project: Linden, Brighton Ave, and Gardner. Brighton Avenue, we're proposing to close the existing curb cut, add 5 new bike racks, and 3 new tree pits, 2 of which we're going to maintain the existing mature trees. The 3rd one we're replacing that was actually this past Tuesday recently cut down by the city. It was dead and in really bad shape. The tree pits are 4 by 6, and we're providing a minimum of 5.8 feet from the back of tree pit to the property line at the pinch points, and roughly just under 10.5 feet elsewhere. Gardner Street, we're just replacing the sidewalk, and we're modifying the existing curb cut to provide to the at-grade parking, and closing the existing 10-foot curb cut that was used for the existing property there as a driveway. Linden Street, we are proposing 2 new 3x8 tree pits, and in order to do that, we're providing 5.5 feet minimum of clear pedestrian path of travel from the edge of the tree pit to the edge of the building, as well as we're also modifying the existing curb cut on that side as well. Existing, it was a 68-foot curb cut that we're minimizing to a 21.5-foot to provide access to the parking and loading.
But to facilitate some of these specific repairs, you are first giving us a pedestrian easement. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
Right.
Just
Okay.
about
Because
to
the
get
math
into that.
just doesn't work if you are not giving us that easement.
Yep, so on Linden Street, we're providing I'll jump into our next action, which is the pedestrian easement on Linden Street, which is a 2-foot easement from the property line to the building that extends all the way along the frontage of the building, and it wraps slightly around to Brighton to provide the level landings for the new
So the
curb ramps.
2-foot offset which you have, you are giving it for these purposes. Now you said that most of the vehicular access of, you said there's access off Brighton Ave. Is that for?
Vehicular access. Yeah,
Just-
vehicular access is off of Linden.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're closing the existing curb cut on Brighton Ave.
So we have 109 living spaces, apartments?
129.
129. How many at surface grade parking spots?
79 spaces total.
79 spaces.
And we have a TAPA that's been fully negotiated, I think with Bill Conroy for signatures.
Right.
It's been signed?
I think he just put it on BTD letterhead, and we're picking it up today to sign, for him to sign. So then,
I haven't seen it yet, so.
So get it all signed, sealed before the public hearing.
Other questions or comments?
Construction management plan?
we just brought a contractor on board, so we haven't started the full logistics, but we'll coordinate with your office and you to
Generally,
make
I'd like to have that executed before I'm voting on something. So you need to work on that.
Okay.
Where are you with site plan with Boston Water and Sewer?
We submitted about a month ago, received initial comments, and we're working through those comments to resubmit shortly.
Okay. And this is 3 different parcels?
That's correct.
That's combined to one. It's being
So you are
consolidated.
combining them into one parcel?
It's being consolidated into
It
one
is.
parcel.
Yeah.
In the last action we're proposing is a projection license on Brighton Avenue, which is over the residential entrance. It extends just under 4 feet over the property line. It's 12.5 feet above the sidewalk grade, and it will be internally drained and heat traced.
For your marketing people, I just want to, because this is a crazy place during the student movement. We close off streets, we basically redirect traffic for Alston Christmas. So you guys have figured, they'll let anybody, your marketing people know that?
Yeah, absolutely. And in
I
fact,
don't want the complaints.
yeah, no. I mean, first of all, one of the opportunities here is because the building includes so many units. There's no way we would structure leases such that we would have to turn, so many units on one particular day. So we're going to be staggering leases on the 1st and the 15th of months, and we're going to be staggering leases throughout the year. And we also have on-site management, which is a unique component for any building in this neighborhood.
And you're loading for the commercial, where are you doing that?
In the parking behind the retail.
It'll be accessed off of Linden
In the
Street
garage.
Within the garage.
And what's the design vehicle that accommodates?
I believe it's an SU-30.
Yeah, I think that's right.
SU-30? Okay. Moving truck, like an SU-30, 36? So you plan on having the moves, when they move in, is that move is done on your property?
Yes.
Excellent.
So to amplify what Mr. Hitzfeld said, the overhang,
Yep.
you're saying it comes out into the sidewalk 4 feet?
Yes, just
on
under
the
4 feet.
VHB?
Yes.
Good. So you also need to specify what is the remaining width of the sidewalk that is left from the overhang. You tell me how far it comes out, but you are not telling me how much room is remaining should any of these moving trucks happen to be on the main road.
Okay, I can provide an additional dimension.
Okay.
So if that comes out 4 feet, it's about 6.5 feet remaining
Right,
to
so
the
that
fence.
is only 2.5 feet for someone to jump the curb and make things awkward.
The moving trucks will not be on Brighton Avenue.
They sometimes tend to go to places where they're not supposed to be, and then it makes it a bit challenging for us.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Is there going to be internal bike storage that's a part of this?
Absolutely. We have a pretty significant amount of, we have 140 bike storage spaces.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it jumped out at me 130 units and 5 lollipops.
We also have a bike
Okay.
repair station, a bike cleaning station, and part of the TAPA, there will be a hubway.
Very good.
Other questions or comments? 27th enough time? 2 weeks enough time?
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
The next item is 480 Rutherford Avenue, Cambridge, specific repairs on a petition by Hood Park LLC.
Did we skip 99 High Street? Oh, that got, oh, that's right. Thanks.
Speed, that's my middle name.
Yep.
Good morning. My name's Jeff Lewis. I work with Colliers. I'm here on behalf of the owner of Hood Park LLC. We are here for a specific repair plan for the 480 Rutherford project. 480 Rutherford, just for the benefit of the board, 177 rental units, about 10,500 square feet of retail space located within the Hood Park at 480 Rutherford. It's the southeast corner of the park. Basically proposing 3 things for Rutherford Ave, new sidewalks, 5 street trees, and reconfiguration of the driveway entering into Hood Park. I'm joined by Brian Postlethwaite and of SMMA, and Paula Devereaux at Reuben Rudman should be up here shortly. So in the interest of time, turn it over to Brian Postlethwaite at SMMA.
Thanks, Jeff.
Good morning, Brian Postlethwaite, civil engineer at SMMA. The project's located at Hood Park, just south of Sullivan Square off of Rutherford Avenue. The project, as Jeff noted, is a residential apartment building, 6 floors, with a small commercial component on the first floor adjacent to Rutherford Avenue. The primary access to the project will be off of Rutherford Avenue via the reconstruction of Hood Park Drive, which is solely on private property. The main entrances to the residential component is off of Hood Park Drive, and the vehicular entrance is around the corner on East Street Alley. The commercial portion is accessible both off of Hood Park Drive at the northeast corner of the project and directly off of Rutherford Avenue, depending on the tenant's preferences and desires.
Hood Park Drive currently serves as a driveway, essentially, to the...
Correct. It's a private way,
It's not a city street, right?
not a city street.
Correct.
Should be designed as such that that looks like an intersection. You don't want that. Needs to have an apron in the conformance with the specifications.
Of a continuous sidewalk.
Right.
So,
It's a driveway, it should look like a driveway.
so we are, we're in conversations now with the BPDA regarding
This is the
revisions.
Transportation and Public Works.
I-
We have authority over the driveway.
At the point in time when it becomes a street, you make it look like a street, but until that time, it should look like a driveway.
Our, understood, and we're kind of having now conflicting jurisdictional impacts, and I understand where I am sitting right now.
There's no jurisdictional
No
issue.
conflict, okay.
If there may be a misunderstanding, the road belongs to Public Works, it is being regulated by the Transportation Department, and that's that.
So flush sidewalk,
Yes, sir.
and all the way through, drive up over.
Other questions or comments? Other things that you want to point out?
I'm happy to walk you through the design specifics of the sidewalk reconstruction. We understand your recent comment regarding the crosswalk and the wheelchair ramps. We will revise them. The sidewalk is designed to city standards. The pedestrian way is 5.5 feet wide. The planting furnishing zone adjacent to the curb is 4 feet wide. 5 trees will be planted there with a small planting strip that allows for permeability as well as structured soil to support the tree health underneath both the planting strip and the sidewalk zone. The curb cut itself is at about 55 feet wide, and we'll be reducing it down to 33 feet wide, because that's what we need.
Great.
I think that covers the key elements.
And just last thing, there's the city sidewalk standard, 6 feet on city way for a continuous concrete. So there's no pedestrian easement needed, we don't think.
Quick questions, you may want to beef up the sidewalk standards through that driveway, sidewalk width, and you have an LMI all squared away in it.
Other questions or comments? Amy or Todd? No. All right, see you guys on the 27th in 2 weeks. All right.
Thank you.
Done, thank you. The next item is 1 Milk Street, Washington Street. Boston Proper, a projection license on a joint petition by 1 Transcript LLC and ECU 2002 Milk Street LLC.
I brought my lunch. Good morning, Mr. Chairman. My name is Rebecca Lee, still with Mintz Levin. I'm here representing the owner of 1 Milk Street, which is actually 2 historic buildings at the corner of Milk and Washington Streets in the downtown Crossing neighborhood of Boston. To my left is Shea Elcock from Midwood Investment and Development, which is the owner of the property and is renovating it. It's currently vacant. To my right is Deb Danik, who is from Zinch Engineering, the civil engineers for the project. And Deb will, in the interest of time, we won't talk more about the renovation project, but Deb will immediately go to a description of the canopies.
Yes, thank you for having me. Again, my name's Deb Danik. I'm project manager at Niche Engineering. We have an application in for license for canopies and projections within the public ways of Milk Street and Washington Street. The 1 Milk Street project is located right at the corner of those 2 roads. The proposal includes 7 canopies, which are canvas and metal, that'll be a minimum of 10 feet above grade. We will also have 2 blade signs, which have the retailer's name on it, one of which will be at the corner of Milk Street. Excuse me, one will be further down Milk Street and one will be at the corner of Washington and Milk Street. You can see the blade signs on the rendering in white. It's a little bit old, one of those. The one on the left will be further down along Milk Street. The other thing that we're proposing is a new canopy over the entrance on Milk Street. So that will be made of glass and metal. It will be a minimum of 10 feet above grade and self-draining. It also removable.
All licenses, thank you.
All licenses, thank you.
Other questions or comments?
Coordinate with the bid.
Yes, we've been working very closely with the bid on this project.
Amy or Todd? Yep. 27th work for you guys?
See you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is 100 A Street, West 2nd Street, West 3rd Street, South Boston. Vertical discontinuances on a petition by Oren Moore Enterprises, LLC.
Good morning.
Good morning.
David Murray for 100 A Street LLC, which is actually its successor entitled to RMR Enterprises LLC. To my left is Niall Sutphin, the project architect, and Sherry Perfini of Boston Survey. What we're proposing is vertical discontinuances. There are 9 of them for a total of 537 square feet of surface area. The building is a new construction of 9 residential units and 1 commercial unit in South Boston. And with that, I'm going to defer to Sherry relative to where the vertical discontinuances are.
Amy, have they been before us, have this team?
Yes.
That's right. Did they show us this building where it is coming out to the street? In any of the drawings?
No, I don't think that we've seen the full rendering here.
So in the future, like we need to know these things because we can't start off on a certain way and now they are encroaching into the city street with these weird discontinuances too. Are these going through city council or BRA? These discontinuances?
They're the
fee owner?
fee owner, so it gets appraised and then they pay the fee to us. So we have an appraisal for the fee for these discontinuances.
But the property is ours, right?
No, the property is theirs.
Why the fee ownership of the street goes to, is it theirs or?
The fee ownership of the street is theirs, and that's why the discontinuance gets discontinued, appraised, and then they pay
The
us.
modified?
There's no BRA involved.
Okay. So basically you are doing these notches to either have a balcony or something of a living space, right?
It's a very interestingly shaped building, and they can bring a rendering to the public.
Please.
Yes. I think you need to see it, Tom.
To understand.
Sherry, do you haven't had the rendering yet? It's a triangular shaped building, so what it did, the windows, they're bay windows. You'll see they are triangular shaped that follow the property line for the BRA request to mirror the property line.
Have they come for a specific repair plan?
No.
The project has actually been approved. There is a permit in place relative to the foundation at this point in time, and we're just waiting on this board's permission should we get to continue construction going forward. We have received approval from all the other parties. Boston Water and Sewer signed off on. I believe the last thing we're waiting on is confirming the curb cut.
But I would assume that as part of your project, you will reconstruct the sidewalks on West 2nd, West 3rd, and A Street around the.
In kind.
In kind, yes, but you will clean up that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Other questions or comments? Is 2 weeks enough time for you guys to come back for the public hearing? All right, we'll see you on July 27th. Thank you. Thank you. The next item is 135 Bremen Street, Porter Street, East Boston. Pedestrian easement, specific repairs on a set of petitions by 135 Bremen Street, LLC.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. Jeff Drago with the law firm of Drago and Toscano. We're the project attorneys here representing 135 Bremen Street, LLC. I have Rick Salvo and Eric Brandis from Engineering Alliance that you'll hear from briefly, the civil engineers. I have Jillian from Neshamkin French, who's the architect on the project. Just briefly, this project was approved by the BPDA and the Zoning Board of Appeal a while back for 94 residential units on the corner of Bremen and Porter Street in East Boston. It's a 36,000 square foot parcel. As part of our public improvements to the community, we have a number of specific repairs, one of which is the relocation of an existing World War II cobblestone wall that's on the Porter Street side that we're planning on integrating into the planter side of the project along Bremen. And then a pedestrian easement to create a sidewalk that if you went down that corridor right now, there are no sidewalks along that side until you get further down the street of Bremen Street. That was also something we had committed to the public as well as the BPDA. In the interest of saving time, I'd like to turn it over to Rick just to go over the particulars.
I think real quickly here, Bremen Street is along the front of the property. Porter Street is along the north side. The grade of Porter Street is relatively steep. It's about a 12% existing grade. The World War II wall projects about a foot into the current right-of-way. The proposal will be to remove that wall. There's no footing underneath that wall. We will be constructing a new retaining wall on our side of the property line, which will allow us to widen the Porter Street sidewalk back out to its full width of 8 feet. It'll be reconstructed along the entire length of the property. That wall will be, the World War II wall stones will be reutilized for a planter along the front of the building, so we can repurpose
Is
that
this World
stone.
War II, or are we talking about the American Public Works Act?
Correct.
I former Depression area. That's
Which
what
WPA one?
WPA.
That's right.
Different things, sir.
Definitely two different things, and there's a historical significance there, so.
Okay, and that's what they had referred it
So,
to.
so we will be repurposing that stone along the front of the building, the planters, and we'll be reconstructing an 8-foot wide sidewalk along Whitman Street. About 6 feet of that will be within an easement, and then the remaining 2 feet will be within the Bremen Street right-of-way. The curb cut, the proposed curb cut for the site is located in this vicinity right here, which provide entrance to the underground parking garage.
You need, in the interest of time, ensure that that new wall is completely on private property. I mean the foundations, the whole.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
And does the Historic Commission have to weigh in on that?
No,
No.
we checked that out.
We've had actions before that.
Yeah, no, it's actually not historic or designated in any way. There's a staff member at the BPDA who kind of informs where and when we're pushing and pulling this wall, and that's kind of how it's been going, so that we're not losing it all, but we're getting rid of it where it's not appropriate.
I thought there was something.
Other questions or comments? Amy or Todd?
Nope.
All right. 27 for you guys? Sure. All right, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Great, thank you very much. Thanks.
Seventh item is North Square, Moon Street, Boston proper, specific repairs on a petition by the City of Boston Public Works Department.
Good morning. Joe Fleury, Boston Public Works. We're here for specific repairs on North Square and Moon Street as part of our North Square reconstruction project. As part of our North Square reconstruction project, I'm going to hand it off to Randy Collins, our design consultant of Beta.
Thank you, Joe. Again, my name is Randy Collins, project manager with Beta Group. The project is making significant improvements to accessibility. It'll include brick sidewalks around the perimeter, new granite pavers, which will be providing accessible routes within the plaza area itself, the resetting of some of the existing granite cobblestones, new lights, resetting of existing lights, and new street trees. And I'd be happy to entertain any questions.
How much time do we have, Amy?
Minus 3 minutes.
Transportation reviewed this, very appreciative of the teamwork on this, so.
Just quickly, in 15 seconds on this, who and who have you spoken to? You coordinated?
Everybody.
Everyone.
Thank you.
We have 100% design comments right here. You'll have them tomorrow.
Yeah, no, we're doing the water line that you requested. It's like 30 so feet going into Prince Street. I think we're pretty all set with that.
That's huge for us.
Baldwin Beer House, Parks Department.
Yep.
The artists.
The whole shebang. Yeah, the Mariners House has been great. They've hosted a couple meetings for us. Yep.
Other questions or
Confirming the
comments?
good work which you do.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Amy or Todd? All right, 2 weeks enough time?
2 weeks.
See you guys on the 27th. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Amy, you give us 3.6 minutes.